Okay, I have 6 o'clock, so we'll begin the meeting. To remind everyone that the City of Perry core staff values is a strong work ethic, problem solving, community oriented, shows professionalism and integrity, is a team player, is accountable, and is a good steward. Could I have roll call, please?
Shelley,
Yes.
Mahler,
Yes.
Walling,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay, next up would be approval of the meeting agenda. Motion, please.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Or roll call, sorry.
Klein,
Yes.
Walling.
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Mahler.
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
Okay, next up is the consent agenda. It has the minutes of the May 5th, 2025 regular city council meeting. Payment for contract services, 4 to Bolton and Mink and 1 to Dallas County Local Housing Trust Fund for a total of $64,231.54. Claims registers and financials of $557,099.70. And license and permits, retail alcohol license for JJ and DK LLC for the Circle K that is at 1219 First Avenue. Police inspection is complete and on file in City Hall, and approval is pending the fire inspection. Have motion, please.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
Circle K still opening?
Well, there's that, the new
I think-
place is going in there, it's a new business,
Oh,
it's
okay.
not gonna open as Circle K.
Okay.
Okay.
Good to
so
see you
this
guys.
is- This is the establishment at 1219 First Avenue.
Right
Yeah.
there.
Right across from Casey's.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
But it won't be Circle K.
I'm not sure if they have a
Franchise. or not.
umbrella yet or not.
I think Sid put the Circle K in there just so people would know
As
where it
the
was.
location.
But it's not gonna be.
Gotcha.
Further discussion? Roll call, please.
Walling,
Yes.
Mahler,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay. It's one out on Willis, or 141.
Yeah.
Sold too, that'd be good. So city administrators report.
All right, two main topics tonight. One is 2 weeks ago, I was out right after our last council meeting in Washington DC on the Greater Des Moines Partnerships DC trip. I think there's about 150 folks from around central Iowa that go on that trip. Had some good breakout sessions on different topics and had some very good conversations, kind of building off of the conversations we had last year with mostly congressional staffers. So it was some good time, good conversations on a number of different topics. Nice to be able to get out there in front of the folks in DC that we're sending a lot of emails to. It's nice to be able to put a face to a name. So very good conversations there. And then also last week, the mayor and I were invited out to Percival Scientific. 3 of their staff members were recognized with the Small Business Administration's Persons of the Year Award for the state of Iowa. So
Oh,
let's see, Jake Oakland, their CEO, Jamie Jackson and Joni Campadilli were all named in that award. So definitely very prestigious. There's only, I think they said 54 rounds, so 1 from each state in different provinces. So very awesome to be able to have such great recognition for a Perry business. So it was well attended by some congressional staffers and other folks. So it was very good. I don't know if the mayor wants to say any more about that, but it's kind of what I've got. Any questions for me? Okay.
Okay, thank you, Sven. So mayor comments, went to a development conference in Des Moines last week and learned a few good things. The main one being, don't talk to your AI too much because it's getting smarter all the time and will be smarter than you soon, if not already. So, but no, I said embrace it because it's coming and get ready for it, plan how to use it. So But there was some interesting on talking about how to attract development and a little on TIF and a few other things. So it was very interesting. Joseph was there also. So that was good. And then wanted to thank everybody that set up the Fiber Arts Festival this last weekend. There was a lot of people at the hotel and around town. And I think some of the restaurants and stuff had extra business because of it. So I think it was a good event. So thank them. So any council comments?
Other than that, what Dirk just said, I was there at that conference in Prairie Meadows. What I found exciting about it was Dwayne Arnold, only nuclear power generating station in the state of Iowa. Governor signed a permit. It's only an hour and 30-minute drive here, I believe. A lot of high-paying jobs, a lot of good business. So this is what I learned at that conference, talking to some of the energy people, and it's coming back online.
Please,
Yes,
back up just a minute.
yes,
I thought that if I heard correctly, you mentioned Prairie Meadow.
yes.
Okay, explain to me their involvement.
They hosted, I guess, the conference, and they had the conference room. The governor was there, and she gave a speech about the economy of Iowa. And then there's a lot of the utility companies there with their representatives is talking to us about TIF and how that affects us in small towns. And this is what that Dwayne Arnold really is going to be an impact on us, because it's only an hour, 15, 20-minute drive from here. And those are some extremely well-paying jobs.
Okay,
And that,
But it was in their conference center. So they didn't sponsor it. They just rented the conference space from them. Yep.
been there.
Yeah, it's very nice.
They took care of us.
Anything else? Okay, next up is open forum. You'll be asked to step to the microphone, state your name and your address for the council for record, and then you'll be given 3 minutes to address the council. Any open forum requests? Please.
Good evening. My name is Steve Carey, 811 West Fifth Street here in town. I came up to try to get some information, and I got some from Joe about the speeding around Patty Park. Still is a problem a year later. It was a little about this time last year I was up here. The police department had put a contraption with speed and flashes lights if you're going too fast, red and blue lights like it's a police car. A few people abide by it, will slow down. Maybe softball moms or baseball moms with the little tiny kids, little 8, 9-year-olds, they just keep flying by because the kids know mom ain't slowing down by that time. So I'd say it's slowed down some. A lot of them it's just like speed up, see how high they can get it to read. I'm glad to hear that it takes data. So once it's looked at, the data can see how much speeding is actually going on, if I'm not crazy or not. So that'll be good. I wish in the meantime, I'd see some radar being run down there more, because I haven't seen maybe the police drive by once since they put this in. I'm retired, so I'm always looking out my windows if I'm not outside, doing yard work. I did take my little sign, slow the F down, put it back in my garage, saved it, but I thought, well, I'll take it down, maybe, it doesn't matter. I've got ideas on how to slow traffic way down. It might be radical. Some stop signs strategically placed on West 5th, West 3rd. It's a parade route. I realize that, and I suppose they could cover the stop signs during the parade, but one radical idea to close would stop 80% of the traffic, because most people are taking that road. It's shortcut, so they don't have to hit the lights downtown when I'm turning around. First and foremost, they can bypass those lights. So it's a speedy way to bypass those lights. Close the road there where Center Street turns into West 3rd by the city gravel, the city department there, by the softball fields. Put a gate up that city workers could open up to go through if they need. Otherwise, keep it locked. That would stop 80% of the traffic, 80% of the speeders, because we're taking away the shortcut. It's plain and simple. So anyway, That's my 2 cents worth. Joe, thanks for the information about the speed contraption and the data. I hope the chief and other people will look at that data and come up with a plan to take care, especially down, apparently north of me, is, a few houses, a block. A lot of kids have grown up long enough. They like riding their bicycles up and down that street, especially with that speed limit sign flashing to see how fast they can go on their bikes. You know, so, again, it's an accident. I think it's an accident waiting to happen, and I hate to see a child get killed or maimed because of lack of speed regulation. So, all right, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
I have a question, and I may have heard wrong. I have that the address is 11 West Fifth Street,
811 West.
811, thank you. I thought that I was.
If I could put a quick question here, if I can, this new law with fireworks, is that gonna affect the city?
Definitely going to. Yep.
Yeah, darn. All right.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next thing on the agenda is a public hearing. It's the intent of the city to dispose of public property by sale. The public hearing is to agree a purchase agreement and a development agreement between the city of Perry and 369 Sky LLC for public property located at 1110 Second Street, which was obtained by the city through the 657A process. And we would like to sell it for redevelopment. That's the old Bosco Grill Casadero building there on Second Street. So that motion, please, or no, I'll open that meeting at 6:11.
We acquired this property through 657A, I believe in the fall of 23, before I was here. So we had opened up the request for proposals back in December, closed that in January, met with the committee. We had received 2 proposals. After a couple rounds of discussing, we had a unanimous agreement to award it to 369 Sky LLC. So their plan is to acquire the building, move in and start clearing out and making repairs on July 1st. So they'll start with the basement and the main level and then move up to the second story. Their plan and their proposal is to do either they own a business in Grimes, so either have that showroom be here on the main level or do potentially like a karate studio / yoga studio. They have some kids that teach those classes. So kind of exploring what that business will be. And then the second story will have 2 to 4 apartments and they'll kind of play around with that layout once they clear out all that stuff in there. So they are anticipating for that to take about 3 years. The building is in pretty dire state, but we're excited for them to have this and excited to see this building get cleaned up and see what they will do with it. So
Needs it.
yes, yep.
Definitely needs it. Now, are they gonna pour a floor or are they going to?
Yep, so that's what they had discussed is doing like a concrete floor. I'll be honest, I don't know what the state of the basement is or what repairs need to be for there, but I believe the main level was just like concrete. And then maybe put some type of flooring on top of it.
Need
Yeah,
something
yeah.
substantial.
And at the dev conference, we did hear that a new round of IEDA got another round of grant money from the state, so maybe there's some upper story money could be available for that one also, once that dust settles on that.
Yep, and I've shared that with the applicant, that we can work with them on some grant funding dollars as well for their project.
Any further discussion? Any, you want to come? Okay, with that, we will close public hearing at 6:14. Okay, we'll move on to old business. Resolution approving a purchase agreement for the sale of city-owned property and a development agreement with 369 Sky LLC. So this is basically what we just had the public hearing on. This will give Sven or I the right to sign the agreements, then the documents. Purchase price is $10,000. And could use a motion.
I make a motion, we pass a resolution approving a purchase agreement for the sale of city-owned property and a development agreement with 369 Sky LLC.
I'll second that.
Do we need any further discussion? Okay, roll call.
Walling,
Yes.
Moller.
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Scott.
Yeah.
Klein,
Yeah.
Okay, item B is approval of GAX number 10 for CDBG contract number 23 HSGU 004 in the amount of $11,224. It's for the Nudgers Kearns Management LLC for their building at 1306 Second Street. And I'd take a motion, please.
Make a motion, we approve GAX number 10 for CDBG contract number 23 HSGU 004.
I'll second.
Discussion?
Where?
It is the old
Vivi's building.
Vivi's old building that was Vivi's old building that was the Union Hall. So they haven't done much work, as you can tell by the $11,200 draw, but there's a $600 or $550,000 upper story on that one, and they've spent 60% of it, and then but they're getting ready to start drywall, so that rest will get eaten up pretty quick. So
Okay, can I ask? Where's Vivi involved in this?
Vivi donated the building to the Nudgers Group and gave the insurance proceeds that she received after the fire to that group.
Okay.
So the first tranche of money came from Vivi, and then they got grants for most everything else they're doing.
Okay.
And then a bridge loan to cover the over and above, because these things cost so much anymore that.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Further discussion? Roll call, please.
Moller,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Walling,
Yes.
Schott.
Yeah.
Okay, item C is approval of change order number 3 for Frog Creek Restoration. So this is to balance as-built quantities. And it's actually a decrease of $71,887.72. So we have a motion, please.
Make a motion, we approve change order number 3 for the Frog Creek Restoration.
I'll second.
All right,
Talk to us.
Mr. Jacob.
So this is a good change order.
Yeah.
So this is balancing out all quantities based on the as-built. A lot of that was in the rock quantities, just of how they settled into the banks, how they fit the slopes and everything like that is a significant portion of that. We kind of held on to a little bit. You notice there was a previous negative change order, but we just want to make sure those final pieces got balanced in and installed properly before officially closing it out. So.
Great.
The discussion?
And it's done, right?
Yep, so the next two items, I think the order is substantial completion and then the final payment. So if there's any questions on that, the substantial completion is everything that has been installed. It is satisfactory. There is a warranty period of a year that if anything does come up through the live stakes, the seeding, they are responsible to come back based on their maintenance bond. We hope not to go there, so making sure we get these good rains that we have. And then also the final payment with having had that completed for the 30 days, releasing retainage.
Are the live stakes budding out?
Not quite yet. So with them being live stakes, they do take a little bit longer to get that root growth to start taking. But we're hoping here after this rain, they were going to come in and start watering at the end of last week, and they saw the rain. So we're hoping that starts getting things to drive a little further.
Roll call, please.
Walling,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Moller.
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
Okay, item D is a resolution approving statement of completion and final acceptance for the Frog Creek Restoration Project. The total cost now is $509,124.72. The engineer recommends the acceptance of the work and issuance of the final acceptance and certificate of completion. So it last authorized me to sign all the forms necessary to execute. So have a motion, please.
I make a motion that we pass resolution approving statement of completion and final acceptance for the Frog Creek Restoration Project.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion?
The only thing real quick I'd add into that is as you're looking at that site, it is native grasses. So they do take that 3 to 5 years to truly get established and look to the potential that they should be. So it does take a lot of time, constant maintenance, grooming, knocking down weeds and stuff like that. So look at it with an open view. It will take a little bit of time, but once it's officially established, it'll look how the renderings and the graphics and the eyes want to see it.
So who's weeding all that?
So that's where we're gonna talk through with contractors. Same for the watering is them maintaining it, making sure things are knocked down. And then at what point does city staff start taking that over? Is it kind of in coordination of certain pieces, certain elements that they're watching the contractor and working through that timeframe? So
Are we having any wash in from this rain today, like we had wash in?
I'm actually gonna stop out there after this because it started downpouring right before the meeting.
Yeah,
So
because we had the same problem out at the water, out at the detention pond.
Yep.
Oh,
Which they fixed over the weekend.
Okay, a question. I mean, we have the final resolution and acceptance of the completion. And then I noticed down below, we have another approval request for the same situation.
One is the pay application check and the other one is the actual statement of completion. So you gotta say that the project is completed, and then once you guys approve that, then we can approve
the pay.
releasing the payment. So the next action is actually approval to release the repayment.
Okay, thank you.
Roll call.
Klein,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Mahler,
Yes.
Walling,
Yes.
Schott.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then so now we're on item E is approval of the pay request number 9 final for the Frog Creek Restoration in the amount of $33,531.24 to Iowa Earthworks. And that will release the retainage and close things out except for any warranty things that come up. Motion, please.
Motion to approve item E, approval of pay request number 9, final from Frog Creek Restoration.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion necessary? Okay, roll call.
Shelley,
Yes.
Walling,
Yes.
Mahler,
Yes.
Schott,
Yeah.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay, we'll move on to new business. Item A is a resolution approving a plat of survey to establish parcels within the city of Perry. This will combine some parcels owned by Van Kirk Storage LLC. Has to do with the parking lot in the vacant areas that we've talked about at the last few meetings. So this would just rezone it all into one parcel. So could I have motion, please?
I make a motion, we pass a resolution approving a plat of survey to establish parcels within the city of Perry.
I'll second that.
Discussion. Molly.
So you guys kind of are familiar with this area already, but we went through the disposal, vacation and disposal process of that Rawson Street right of way between First Ave and Second. So now they are combining that right of way with the 3 residential parcels that they own today. And they will create a parking lot. So we'll talk about that in the next agenda item, but this is just a plat of survey combining all those lots together. And the Planning and Zoning Commission did recommend approval at their May meeting. And staff would recommend approval as well.
And they are allowing us right away through the alleyway for snow removal and whatever.
Yep, so you can kind of see that where it
Yep.
says the vacated alley. So that was part of the vacation process. So you'll see on the site plan that alleyway will stay open, but there will be a no through traffic sign. So it's open for snow removal to be able to go through, but not open for Foundry employees to, drive through. They can take the accesses to the side.
And residents up that alley are not going to be going through there.
Nope, so they shouldn't be, and I've made them aware of that, yeah. So if that does become an issue, the Foundry will have to just kind of delegate that.
Okay.
Yeah, sure, yeah, I mean, we had the notice shared out during this vacation process, and it was just that one individual that asked questions on it, so they're all aware of what has happened, so.
Good job.
Further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mahler,
Yes.
Walling,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Schott,
Absolutely.
Klein,
Yes.
Okay, item B is a resolution approving the site plan for an employee parking lot by Van Kirk Storage LLC within the city of Perry. So this is the plans for the parking lot they plan to build there. So could I have a motion, please?
Make a motion, we pass a resolution approving the site plan for an employee parking lot by Van Kirk Storage LLC within the city of.
I'll second that.
So this will, you can scroll a little bit further, Chris, just so they can see. The next page, just so they can see the landscaping as
There we
well.
go.
I believe the one on the bottom. Perfect. So this will be about 45 parking spots. 3 of those will be ADA. So you only see 1 ADA stall in this layout. They're actually converting 2 parking stalls to ADA along their west entrance by their office space. So all of the federal requirements for that will be met. Yeah, so there'll be 2 accesses, one off of First Ave. Do you care expanding out and then making it center? Perfect, thank you.
Okay.
So one access off of First Ave and another off of Second Street. Per the ordinance that we created to allow for this use to happen, that was ordinance 987, which allowed for parking lots to be in an RD, RM, BC district if they're within 75 feet of a central heavy industrial district. The requirement in that ordinance was that they have to install a 6-foot white privacy vinyl fence abutting a residential use. So on the very northern property line, you will see a fence be installed. It will stay open at the alleyway. And then also in that ordinance requirement is like some landscaping. So they are showing some overstory evergreen trees as well as some shrubs just to provide some beautification.
Great.
And then, yeah, that no through traffic sign will be installed there to minimize and hopefully eliminate any boundary employees driving through there. There was a question from the commission about increase in traffic on First Street since it's kind of being pushed out either from the first access or Second Street access. Jackson Van Kirk was at that meeting. They actually have a parking lot between Second and Third Street on the other side of this. And he states that the employees actually like to avoid First Street because it is already difficult to get onto already without like there being a traffic light. So most of the individuals go on Second or Third and then go on, I believe it's Dawson, just north of this block. And we'll have access there. So I don't
So
see.
entrance into this will be off Second.
It can be off Second or it can be off First. So if you can kind of see like where the stalls are
Okay.
angled. Yep.
Goes in.
So there is like circulation. So people
Okay.
that go in first can
Gotcha.
exit Second. So there
They
is.
come in on First, they go half a block east.
They would go, so if they come in off First, they would exit on Second, go up to, well, it depends on where they live, but go up to Dawson and then can enter back onto First.
Up to 2. Yeah.
But yeah, so P and Z did recommend approval at the May meeting, and we do have a sanitary sewer easement that will come to you guys at the next meeting. So I think the resolution is kind of pending on that, but I already have that drafted in my inbox and we'll get that off to the attorneys. So
Okay.
and
Great.
staff would recommend approval as well.
That'll look a lot nicer.
So the resolution does state. Between Van Kirk Storage LLC and the city of Leandria.
Anything else? Okay, roll call, please.
Walling,
Yes.
Mahler,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Schott,
Yeah.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay, item C is a resolution setting a public hearing for fiscal year 2025 budget amendment. This will be held on June 2nd, 2024 at 6 PM in the Clarion Room at the Security Bank Building located 1102 Willis Avenue to receive and hear oral and written comments. So can I have a motion, please?
Motion to move forward, item C, resolution setting a public hearing for FY 2025 budget.
I'll second.
Susie?
So I have a memo in the packet that you can you have any questions, read it and let me know. The budget is going to be amended by increase about 1.9 million for the revenues. And expenditures will increase about a little over 2 million. A lot of these are grant related or project related items that will be offset by, you know, transfers from other funds or other grants or bond issues. There's a few things in the, in the general fund that are gonna change, like we had to increase the part-time wages for the police department because they hired the SRO that's reimbursed by the schools part-time, and that, so neither that revenue or expenditure was in there. Also, there was quite a few, vehicle repairs and maintenance for the fire department and garbage department. We had additional engineering fees. There was that change order for the Pierce Saber fire truck that was approved this year. And also another big thing was the water damage here in this building from last January. That finally was finished and it was paid in this fiscal year right now. And then, so that's of course not planned for, so the revenue to offset it is the insurance reimbursement. So this will be published in the Perry Chief next week, and we'll hold the public hearing on June.
Any further discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Shelley,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Smaller,
Yes.
Walling,
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
Okay, and the last item is item D, a resolution approving an urban renewal loan application for the Alano Club in the amount of $10,000 as part of the urban renewal revolving fund. It's for the buildings located at 1211 and 1213 Lucinda Avenue. And for the purpose of completing a multi-phase remodel project includes fire protection and electrical safety. This would authorize the development of the loan agreement and security instruments necessary to carry out the terms of the loan, as well as direct staff to execute the necessary documents and make payments for eligible costs. So can I have a motion, please?
Make a motion to pass a resolution approving an urban renewal loan application for the Alano Fund.
I'll second.
Discussion?
Done a lot of work to that building.
Mhm. I want to say this is their second loan through this program. So
And actually, they have a balance due that's going to roll into this, and they'll get funded the difference between the two.
Good.
So, and I need to disclose, I'm on the Lano Club board, and so since I don't get a vote, I don't really have a conflict here, but for full disclosure.
Well, they've made that place much nicer.
I was just going to ask if there was anybody here from the Alano to represent themselves or discuss with us. Oh, do they care?
They do. They've gotten a Bach grant and a Dallas County Foundation grant.
Yep.
And then with this money, that'd be enough to cover the estimate they got for the electrical. They're basically putting exit signs on their doors, you know, the ones that light up when the power goes out. They're putting in a new fire door in the rear of the building. And they have some electrical issues just with my understanding, the electrical meter they put in originally was not a commercial electrical meter and isn't really to code, so they're gonna get that changed out and a few other things to do with that, so.
They've had all kinds of issues to try to segregate themselves from the building in front.
Four,
lot of,
four businesses on one water meter.
Yeah, yeah. So-
just done some interesting pieces of that.
Chuck, we were there at the Chamber Conference last week and they talked about the upgrades to electrical, so they do care.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't,
I just thought they might care enough to be here.
they talked about it, didn't they?
I'll let
They
Larry
had-
know.
They had coffee there.
I didn't have coffee.
Well, why not?
I don't know because, anyway,
You could have.
I didn't know about it.
Oh,
Nobody invited me.
well, it was on the chat sheet.
Well, excuse me all to hell.
Further discussion?
Rec Center, pick up a chat sheet.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Walling,
Yes.
Mahler,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Schott,
Absolutely not.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay. Any other things we need to talk about tonight? Okay, then we will adjourn.
They.